Welcome everybody. My name is Marcel Irnie, Canadian journalist, IrnieracingNews, live from Baja. We're in the Baja, Mexico, and we slept here in the dunes, the Soledad, the largest dunes on the ocean. The Pacific Ocean is right there with the inlet and marsh, and the Conrad ERBES Saga, the Tyrant RCMP Conrad ERBES came at me January 29th, 2022, just after the most momentous Freedom Convoy day in Kelowna. We had thousands of people came out. There is other people like us that are pissed off about being locked down, and so it was an amazing day. And then it ended with Tyrant ERBES coming at me, trying to get my identification, try to get me out of the vehicle, make just no reason for it, and he refused the ID. I've been to court 5 or 6 times with him now, and he sued me in small claims court for the video footage of him being a tyrant. And I won that lawsuit, and of course the saga for the tickets where he gave me, you know, no front plate, no red flag on the dirt bike, failure to produce driver's license, and another ticket for refusal to say name and address in separate tickets. Like, he gave me another ticket at the first court date for the first ticket. And the first ticket I won, that one was stayed by a prosecutor, the Crown, when I did an application to go to provincial court in front of a real judge. Because in traffic court, you're in front of a judicial officer they call a worship in Canada. It's such a bullshit name. Nobody's gonna worship these guys. And this worship, Brian Burgess, was so corrupt and complicit with ERBES through the court. He proved this, and the transcript will come out. We'll do a whole fake judge show where I have an actor playing Brian Burgess, an actor playing Conrad ERBES, and then I'll probably play myself, kind of like Seinfeld style, and we'll read the transcripts and act and show you this worship Brian Burgess as he essentially, I'm cross-examining ERBES, but I'm cross-examining ERBES through Burgess. Every question he answers for ERBES and prevents me from asking ERBES the important questions in relation to why I didn't need to give him my ID, why I didn't need to say my name and address, because I was being detained, but not with no criminal act. You know, there was no suspicion of what criminal charge that I might be guilty of. They had no reasonable articulable suspicion that I committed a crime, or in Canada, no reasonable suspicion that I committed a crime, or probable cause that I committed a crime. So he can't get my ID because I wasn't in the vehicle, let alone driving the vehicle. I was in the camper. So anyways, you guys have seen this whole saga, and I finally got a letter from Staff Sergeant Abels, who I contacted right in the beginning because ERBES is like super direct supervisor. And Staff Sergeant Abels refused to talk to me. He would never pick up the phone. He would never call me back from voicemails. I sent him letters of my notice of particulars, and he refused to reply. He had some underling asshole RCMP ERBES' buddy call me back, and and there's a tape of that as well. If I haven't put it out, I will eventually. So he sent me a letter saying that they've given up, and the court date in January has been canceled. I think it was January 29th this month. It's been canceled, and I read that letter to you guys just a week ago on the video about Kelowna protester, RCMP, whatever it was, coming at him for Freedom Convoy. And so a lot of people asked, hey Marcel, make sure that court date is actually canceled. You're not just getting this letter from Sergeant Abels saying, oh, don't show up at the court date, don't worry, our ERBES is not showing up. So I called the courthouse. Hey there, it's Marcel.
Hi, it's Kelowna Law Court's calling.
Oh, hi there. Yeah, perfect. Thanks for giving me a call back. Did you have a chance to look up the traffic?
We received the SOP, so it's been resulted as same.
So
there's no court date.
So there is no court date for AJ 2462
9795.
9795 in your system. It's gone.
Right.
And there was a court date on January 29th. Is that correct? Before?
Yes, it was scheduled, and we have resulted it with a stay of proceedings.
Do you know?
For the letter.
Oh, okay. So the RCMP sent you the letter, and then you guys, that's how it worked? Okay.
Yep.
I actually never even got a letter for that court date. Does that make sense as well? Or should I have got a letter for this court date back in December? Or would they have entered a stay and never sent me the date at all? Because I was like blown away that I had a court date, and then I see it was stayed, which is fine, but it was kind of like, whoa, I didn't know that court date was coming up.
Let me just have a look, because I have to see where it was set at, if it was set here, or if it was...
Yeah, obviously that postal strike might have been part of it.
Yeah, it could, I'm not sure. I would think you would have gotten a letter if it was scheduled for the 29th, and maybe it was just delayed in the mail, I don't know.
Yeah, I would have got it by now, though, so then I asked, like, my dad, did anybody see a letter? Or nobody saw a letter come in.
Yeah, I don't know then what to say, what happened with the letter.
Okay, but
I would have thought you would have received it, because normally we would send it out for you with your hearing date, but you don't have to worry about it now because of the stay of proceedings.
Yeah, is there any reason that they entered the stay of proceedings written down? I mean, I've been going through, this is almost 3 years into this court. I've been to court so many times. I mean, we've met so many times.
Just whatever the officer wrote in the letter that you would have gotten.
Oh,
that's all we have. The
okay.
same information.
Yeah, it doesn't say anything about why. They just...
Yeah, you'd have to check with the person who issued that letter or the issuing officer of your ticket, maybe.
Okay, well, thank you very much. At least I know I don't have to show up. I just wanted to make sure.
That's the main thing anyways.
Okay, yeah, thanks a lot. Bye.
Yeah, you're welcome. Take care. Bye-bye.
Well, there you have it. Don't have to show up at court. It's official. Official. Yeah.
Call Conrad and ask him why.
I could call Staff Sergeant Abel. It says, even says on the bottom of the letter, if you have any questions, call 762, the RCMP, right?
Nice.
So he sent me a letter saying that they've given up, and the court date in January has been canceled. I think it was January 29th this month. It's been canceled. And I read that letter to you guys just a week ago on the video about Kelowna protester, RCMP, whatever it was, coming at him for Freedom Convoy. And so a lot of people asked, hey, Marcel, make sure that court date is actually canceled. You're not just getting this letter from Sergeant Abels saying, oh, don't show up at the court date. Don't worry, our ERBES is not showing up. So I called the courthouse. The court date has officially been canceled. So the courthouse got the same letter from Abel saying that they're giving up, they're staying the ticket. And so that saga is over. The tickets are over. I'm not fighting any lawsuits or any tickets. I'm not going to court with ERBES anymore, even though I was looking forward to finishing my cross-examination. And by putting in a complaint against Brian Burgess with the Law Society, maybe that's like, they saw the video about me talking about that. Maybe that had something to do with it. Or everybody's just like, this is just getting so out of hand. It's already been out of hand for 3 years, over 1,070 days ago, right? I could have done a Jordan application to have this stayed. I could have done another provincial court application for my charter rights being violated to have this stayed. But I wanted to go to court in front of this stupid judicial justice, Burgess, to just have my time in my day in court to be able to ask ERBES what happened and confront him with all these questions and bring his bullshit lies to the front, you know, to show how he lies, and then catch him in lies, and then, you know, they'll do nothing about it, but I'll have the transcripts. So all of this is going on while we have a CRCC complaint, the Civilian Review and Complaint Commission. I applied for 2 years, just almost a year after the incident. And so that is going to finally be coming to a conclusion just over 2 years later. Hopefully, I got a letter about it's coming to its conclusion, where because ERBES handed me a lawsuit in the judicial justice courtroom while he's on duty. He handed me a personal lawsuit. He used the court's time to do his personal business while he's wearing his RCMP uniform under the clock, and that is against the Police Act. I don't even remember the number right now. So he's being investigated for that mostly, but not really anything to do with January 29th about failure to ID. They don't give a shit. They just don't give a shit about a cop being a tyrant and refusing to say. He's
so
like,
you don't think that had anything to do with why they stayed the ticket?
The January 29th stuff?
Well, because now they're maybe looking into him and they're like, we highly advise you to like let this go.
Well, yeah, I guess they got the gist from the previous cross-examination. Plus, I read a little bit of the transcript, right, about what the judge was doing with Herbes and how I was asking him, was I in the motor vehicle? And Herbes is like, yes. And then the worship is like, see, your worship, he says, I'm in the motor vehicle, but I'm in the camper. And he's like, we've established that you were in the camper. And I'm like, no, Herbes says I'm in the motor vehicle. This pertains to why he could ask me for my ID. And he says, no, he doesn't say you're in the vehicle. He says you're in the camper. And I'm like, Constable Herbes, was I in the motor vehicle? Yes. See, your worship. But he tried to stop me from doing all these questions. He literally said, Mr. Irnie, you're wasting my time. You're wasting your time. I'm like, no, your worship. The only person's time is being wasted is mine. I'm the only person not being paid here today. But like, yeah.
I just meant the CRCC's like looking into it now. So then they're looking into everything. So they've also seen that you've gone to court like how many times, right?
I really don't think they've looked into anything. It's the RCMP. No,
okay.
It's the CRCC won't do anything until the RCMP has done their investigation. They will do nothing. So the RCMP does their own investigating themselves, and when that is concluded, now almost 2.5 years later, if it does, then I'll be like, I'm not happy with the result. Then I go back to the CRCC and say, I want you guys to make an independent investigation because I'm not satisfied with their investigation. That's what's going to come out of it, right?
Okay.
So then they actually kick in. So they haven't even kicked in to do anything yet besides initiate the letter to go to them. And we have Sergeant Failer who's investigating Herbes.
That's what I meant, yeah, him.
Well, I mean, there's a combination of so many things. Why did the letter come now and not before the last court date? Maybe it has something to do with what the worship was doing. And the fact that Herbes is seeing that I'm asking him all these questions where he has to lie or tell the truth. And he doesn't want to do A or B, right? So he was lying, but the worship was stopping him from answering the questions, trying to stop him from having to lie. And that's where these guys are getting together at Boston Pizza and having their Diet Coke, right? And talking and laughing about it, and they're colluding, for sure. I would if I had to put some money, I'd say they're colluding. And anyways, so we're going to wait for the CRCC. That'll be future updates, and then we'll have this whole mock court video that we're going to do and have a lot of fun. I just got to find some actors. If you guys are in the Kelowna area and you want to play Herbes, or you want to play the worship, or somebody wants to play Tina in the courtroom, like literally, oh my God, getting all nervous, you know, some court people, that would be some actual actors. If not, I'm going to go to the university and we'll get some people doing school projects and I'll bring them in on it because they need project ideas. And this is, all they have to do is memorize the transcript and set up the scene. It's going to be awesome. I'm not an actor, but I'm the only person that can play in here and not be an actor. You can only have one person that can act. Just like Seinfeld, right?
So you're saying I can't act? Is that what you're saying?
No, you definitely can't act. And neither can I. We can only have one bad actor.
I did drama class. I just told you yesterday.
Oh yeah, your drama class. You love drama all through high school. I took no drama except for the mandatory grade 8 month. But so obviously we're not making the court date, and that was stayed. And here we are. We're in these dunes next to the Pacific Ocean on our way down. We did San Felipe yesterday, and we drove all the way across. Wow, that road in the Baja. There's potholes that are like a foot deep, sometimes 2-3 feet wide, sometimes depth, and then there's another one and another one and another one, and you're like, whoa, 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 whoa. And then we dodged like 1,000 potholes, and I hit one.
And what are we doing today, boss?
I'm not sure. We either continue and down to get where our destination is, the Bay of Concepcion, you know, beautiful green blue waters, and with our non-paddleboard and our non-snorkel gear that didn't get brought. We hang out on the beach and we play video games and run around and dance and all that goodness. You can get your thongs on and have a good time. Or it could go dirt biking in the dunes here. I mean, they're not like Glamis. They're really small and stuff, but it would still be fun. Like you could even watch me over there near the wall. I don't know if it's worth putting my dune tire on. I'll probably just go low PSI with my current tire, just for a little rip if I do. And then we got to figure out how we get to the next destination and get some more water and things like that. So, but anyways, yeah, Baja time. And Coco, you big guys Coco's the Maine Coon kitty. She walked the dunes with us all the way, like 2 kilometers. So she was pretty tired today.
And thirsty.
Thirsty. Okay. Yeah, make sure you guys follow along our adventure. It's called Preparing for Baja. The mini docu-series part 1 is coming out tonight. It's 22 minutes long, and that's for us to get all the way up to the Calexico border, and then episode 2 will be going from there to San Felipe. There's our neighbors. They're racing the dunes. Just ending the video with a little Dr. Tina on her second coffee latte. Coming in for landing. I don't think so.
Cool. Would you ever want to do that?
Well, my friend's been trying to get me to do it with him for a couple years now. I keep saying I just got a one wheel. That's last year's excuse. I just got a one wheel.
I just got a bike.
And now I just got a bike. Coconess coming out.